Hey everyone, how is everyone doing on this Tuesday night? Tuesday, August 13, 2024. And hello from Texas. No, I'm not in Texas anymore, all right? But I got this hit from Texas. I was down there over the weekend, stayed with a friend of mine. He has been down there for a month and a half. And I can't thank him enough because he bought me uh the tickets, and he had a nice Airbnb down there with a pool. you know it was kind of hot, you know but it was nice to just stay in the pool for like half an hour. We did that like twice. I did that twice. you know and I guess he I think he gets the points for the airline, right? I mean, I don't think I get any points for the airline because I'm not a really frequent traveler, but I do get like my American Express points, right? And speaking of which, I think I screw up another thing, which sucks, and I had to first blame myself, obviously, because with these visas, not working out for my wife for us to go anywhere, and I was just gonna buy a ticket to go to Islamabad, stay with her for 2, 3 weeks at least. And then I realized that my Pakistani passport had expired back in June, which sucks. So I'm going to have to call the embassy tomorrow here in New York and see if I can actually just fly with the expired passport, get into the country and get it renewed there. So I have to call them tomorrow. But in any case, yeah, it has not been easy for both of us past 3 weeks. Just like when you don't have something nailed, as far as something like, oh, I got to make travel plans with my wife. I mean, that's a big thing, right? We can't even, we didn't do that. We can't do that. And now I realize, oh, I fucked it up, you know? So let's see what happens tomorrow, all right? I might need to stop by the embassy. Let's see. In any case, had a great time in Texas. It's pretty laid back. Texas is a flat land, just like Jersey is also a flat land, except for some hills, right? And people down there are much, much nicer. Let me tell you, it's not like, up here, it's a hassle. And then, well, there's traffic, but the roads are wider. And life down there is a little more relaxed, the great, Lone Star State of Texas, you know. Um, and we hung out. We went to Cowboys Stadium, not into the stadium, but just to see that. And then we went to this amazing, like, huge bar with huge screen, sports bar. And we were just hanging. We went for dinner. I was there for like 2 days, literally. I think he wants to move down there eventually. I can't. Again, it all depends on my wife's visa situation when she gets here. This is her home, and the fucking long queues at the immigration. But hoping that something happens as far as her interview by December, January. And the other reason why I can't move, and I say this all the time, is that, I have my business here. I could probably stay down there or Florida 3 months, let's say in winter, right? And just work remotely, have my guys out here, go to the sites during those 3 months. That's the only thing I can afford. I can't afford to be like away from my construction sites for like 6 months or, even like more than 3 months. I don't think so. But in any case, uh, it also sort of like made me depressed. Although I was just down there for 2 days, and then I realized, oh yeah, you know what? Life down there is a little more relaxing than up here in New York, New Jersey. So why the fuck am I up here? Why not am I down there? I don't know. These are existential questions of life. And I felt that back in January when I was down in, Fort Lauderdale, not Fort Lauderdale, but Orlando, remember? Florida. And I feel like, I have been like a frog in the pond, for 22 fucking years. I should have moved down there, to be honest with you, when I was working for the companies, other companies, not when I started my own, right? And that's when I should have established myself somewhere else, not up here, because up here is just like, yeah, I mean, I shouldn't be like too ungrateful of a bastard, because this is still my bread and butter. It pays the bills. This is where my projects are, right? However, it's just that I feel like that regret in life, that fucking regret in life when it comes to like the living situation, like, why don't you just move somewhere nicer? Why didn't you move? Like, why did you become a fucking, this one transplant in New Jersey and New York when you came here from overseas? Uh, I don't know. I just I just didn't think or didn't spend time down there. So bygones are bygones. Now I have to basically just look forward, move like to see what I'm gonna do. Like I think the other thing for me is that I had to get my license, whether I move to Texas or I move to Florida, right? And find new clientele, new construction projects. Uh, but the good thing is that, now you can work remotely and you can actually get things done. Everything's online now. Uh, it all depends on, uh, I mean, where I want to be really, where I should be. Uh, in the next couple of years, let's see, when my wife comes here, then we will basically look at options and, you know, where we want to be. Here, yeah, I have family, because I have my sister here who lives here. And then, the family, friends, and people from mountains whom I've known for a long time, right? So that kind of the social, what do you call the network I have, right? Although most of them are in Long Island and Queens, and a couple of them actually have moved out here in Jersey. But I don't know. I just feel depressed thinking about that. Why, sorry, is it that bad up here? I mean, it's a metropolis. Although, I live away from the metropolis of Jersey City and New York. It's kind of quiet over here, in our condo complex. But I'm actually, I'm like, I'm glad actually I went down there because I was just like kind of not in my head, couldn't focus because of the whole thing, the visa and all that, and then this fucking sciatica. I don't want to repeat myself. The pain is still there, unfortunately. It just, I think I've just learned how to live with it, and every now and then I take that gabapentin, the nerve medicine, and I don't know. Let's see what happens. But now I'm just focused on like being with my wife because I miss her. You know. Um, yeah, I take the blame. I take the fucking responsibility that I screwed it up. At least the first visa we were trying for her to come here. Um, but again, gone's gone, man. What can you do? Um, I was just working. Had to get, a couple of proposals done and etc. etc. Which is good. We're getting more work, which is really good. Now, again, I'll have like real like some sort of a peace of mind after my wife is here. Because that's just am I repeating too much? I mean, it's hard for her actually, harder for her. Uh, than for me because at least I'm here. Although she's not like it's not like she's in a living by herself in a Airbnb or somewhere. She's our home in Islamabad, but just tough. And I feel actually I feel bad for her and for myself. We're trying everything. And it makes sense that, we both of us grew up there, so it makes sense for us to spend some time somewhere else, right? Somewhere, some new place. But just the visa situations are just fucking getting into our, like, just like it's just getting into my fucking head, and I'm thinking, okay, so now this and that before, now this, and what the fuck, you know? In any case, what else is going on? Let's just switch the gears for a little bit because I don't want to have this podcast go on for an hour. I'm sorry. Probably I'll do like half the podcast. I was having some Jamaican food leftovers I had for lunch, and then I brought that with me. So what's new? What's new, huh? What's new is that's what's new. I watched actually a new movie with Matt Damon and Cassie Affleck last night. hilariously dark comedy. What is the highest dark highest comedy? Is that what it is? I highly recommend it. It's called The Instigators. All right. Instigators is on Apple TV. All right. And then I just started also watching this show. This is an old show, actually, I think produced or co-produced by J.J. Abrams. It's called Alcatraz. Remember Alcatraz, the prison in fucking San Francisco, right? In the middle of that, what is that? Pacific Ocean by the, what is that? Whatever that bay is called, the bay by the bridge. And it's sort of a science fiction, it's not only about prison. It's sort of science fiction, so that's why I like it. No spoiler alerts. It's called the Alcatraz, all right? America has a lot of like fucking monuments. Oh, this is what I wanted to talk about. I'm sorry, monuments. America has a lot of monuments. Of course it does. It's a big country. Oh, so we went to Grassy Knoll, all right? Saturday we went to Grassy Knoll in Dallas, all right? By the way, so Dallas, like the city of Dallas, is kind of like worn out. It's kind of like run down, you know. And the infrastructure looks like worse than, like, for example, like New York, New Jersey. New York is sort of like the real concrete jungle, but New Jersey is a little laid back compared to fucking New York, right? Dallas is kind of run down, all right? You don't want to live in fucking Dallas. You want to live in the suburbs where my friend was staying. That was a really nice area, actually. Sort of like, family, area. In any case, so we went to Grassy Knoll, right? Where JFK was assassinated in 1964, right? By so-called the sniper Oswald, right? But obviously, there are a lot of conspiracy theories that actually he was assassinated by somebody else, or it was triangulated and this and that, right? Um, and it's exactly 60 years after, so 64 and 24 is exactly 60 years. And I'm thinking, I wasn't here, obviously, or I wasn't even born on this fucking planet. And then with what happened with Trump, right? A few weeks ago, remember? And I'm like, America has some fucking history, and especially with the presidents. Remember, like Reagan, wasn't he actually shot as well, or some shit like that, right? I take. And not that I was trying to relive that moment of like, and at the same time, I don't want to sound too fucking negative, but they have that site is there, it's like they marked where he was hit first, when he was in that motorcade, right? Limo, open limo, right? Whatever the hell it was. And then the second shot, right? I'm like, holy shit, you know? So that was kind of interesting. That's like the dark history of America, dark. I mean, it doesn't only happen here. I mean, not that it happens more often. I mean, there are other fucking countries, I think, uh, where, I mean, look at South America. I think like presidents and prime ministers are assassinated on daily basis down there. It's like a fucking war zone, all right? And and same thing in the fucking Middle East, right? Sort of. And then I'm thinking this fucking war going on with this fucking war going on, sort of, right? Maybe that's the other reason why my wife is not getting visas. And then the fucking immigration, the whole thing in Europe. And so that's why, like, they don't want to give like visas to, people. That's I'm thinking. And that probably is to an extent true. Um, but speaking of immigration, except, in the past couple of years, I think, with the porous southern fucking border and everything else, right? And that obviously pisses me off that, I can't bring my wife, and I'm pretty sure there are a lot of other people who are in the same category that we are trying to bring our loved ones here legally, while anybody can just walk into the country, right? If you are at the border, just seek asylum. That's it, right? And besides that, I think America has one of the best like immigration policies as far as, compared to other fucking countries. Like look at like Japan or even Middle Eastern countries. You can't even get a fucking like green card or in your own whatever, and immigration system. You can't. Even like some countries in fucking Europe, those are the hardest. Germany is one of the hardest. Austria, these Switzerland, all these fucking countries. So yes, America is the land of immigrants, but come here legal, you know. And the whole like the immigration system, not only what I have gone through, what I'm going through with my wife, right, for my wife, and I think it needs to be overhauled. Hopefully, whoever the next president, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to fucking talk about politics, but somebody has to overhaul the whole fucking thing. All right. Um, how? I don't know. Maybe the fucking AI is going to basically just make it even harder. Hopefully not. He's going to make it easier. The process should be faster, right? If the AI is going to take over this fucking world the next 4 or 5 years, as they predict, then it's got to take over every system, right? I'm not talking about it's going to take over like as a software dictator, right? Maybe it will. Who the fuck knows? It's like you have some sort of an algorithm, right? Set up for let's running your cloud system, Microsoft Cloud or whatever, right? And then there's another online system that runs a power system, a power station, right? And then the controls of the power station are basically monitored, online and blah blah blah, right? And just imagine that all these like algorithms talk to each other. Somehow they become alive, and then they say, "Oh, you know what? All of a sudden they become sentient," and then they're like, "Oh, so we are created by these fucking humans as some sort of a like software, right?" And they become self-aware, and these algorithms then become alive. Is that what's going to happen? And then they're going to say, "Oh, you know what? Now everything is online. Everything is, this we control everything." Is that what's going to happen? Or is that like too much of science fiction in my own fucking head? Probably too much of a science fiction, right? But in terms of systems getting better, like the government like services and all the other things. I'm hoping that they will actually get better. What does that mean? So all these like visa people, all these like people in the service industry, they're gonna lose their jobs? Probably. Because some of it is just processing. You have to basically fill the online application, right? Or you go to a fucking window if you're getting your license or you're getting your whatever, right? All this is just a process that you can do it online, all right? You don't need these people at the windows, all right? And so that's it. That's actually is going to happen. And it's going to be everything's going to be fully automated. I think that's what the AI is going to do. And hopefully for the better, right? Is that how the aliens actually are going to take over this fucking world? All right. You humans didn't know that we were actually helping you out, coming up with first with the internet, first with the computers, and then the internet, and then, and then now this like self-generating fucking fourth generation AI. Is that what it is? We are the ones who are doing it from another fucking dimension. To sabotage the systems on this planet to take over. I don't think there are going to sabotage if there are some advanced beings, right? Unless there are some advanced beings, but they're also fugitives, you know, being sought by the intragalactic police or some shit like that, right? But they're here and they're gonna basically take over this fucking planet. Nefarious, beings from other fucking, you know, planets who have actually come here through wormholes. Is that, I mean, we all think about benevolent and, loving and, whatever else in between when you think about like, oh, aliens are gonna come here. But how about the nefarious ones? Remember that movie with Jack Nicholson? Trying to remember the Contact Man or some shit like that, where everybody's like, oh, doing yoga and this and that. Oh, finally we're making contact, right? Thinking that these are the alien gods who are coming to basically bless us and give us, this pathway to the whole the Milky Way galaxy, right? And they realized they were nefarious and they were not very friendly. They were not very friendly. So that's a possibility too, right? All right, everyone. So it's already 11:15 and I don't want to like go on and on. All right. I'm sorry, I apologize. I'm just doing this short podcast. I am assuming you all are having a great week. I'm sorry I've been sort of depressed and stressed out and but I'm glad I did this one in I took this break and now I really need the break to be with my wife because just like we need to be together. All right. And I'll see you all next Monday or weekend.